mentioned the fact that they were considered to do their vocation, and yet when Adam falls, all of creation falls with it.
Yeah,
I think sometimes we fail to mention that part of it. We do talk about the
absolutely.
fall, but we talk about it as an individual in the
Yeah,
humanity, how
yeah,
death entered in, and we know that because death then spread to the all the
sure,
world.
sure,
But it's intimately tied to creation itself. Why
absolutely.
is that so significant for us, and what does that mean for us then? As we're acting as these ambassadors in the midst of this world, trying to dispense our own
Well,
vocation as the redeemed humanity.
that's absolutely vital, and it's interesting that several of Jesus' parables are about farming, about sowing seeds or whatever. It's as though being a steward of creation is built into his thinking about the kingdom, and that part of the point of the kingdom is he is sowing the seed of the kingdom, as in Isaiah 55. As the rain and the snow come down, and but so will my word be that goes forth from my mouth. Jesus is doing new creation and telling us we've got to join in, and the sowing of the seed is both a metaphor, as in the parable, and metonymy. In other words, our looking after of creation is itself part of the kingdom good news. But then I have, of course, as you'd expect, the line that goes on to, as you said, Romans 8, where the point is that creation is groaning in travail, and creation will only be put out of its misery when the humans are finally raised from the dead to be the genuine humans they were supposed to be all along. And at the moment, we are lamenting with the groaning of creation, and the Spirit is lamenting within us, which is one of the most profound passages in Paul. But the point is that we are grieving the fact that God's creation is not yet as it should be and will be, and that we are living with that tension because we, who have the first fruits of the Spirit, we know where this ought to be going. And it seems to me that's one of the places from which you would fund a properly Christian ecology, a care of creation, is that, and if somebody says, well, God's going to set it all right in the end, so we don't need to worry now, I would say, wash your mouth out. The whole point, as with when we sin, it's no good saying, well, one day God will raise me from the dead and I won't want to sin then. Paul is very clear. No, you've already been raised from the dead in Christ, so you jolly well deal with sin in your life right now, thank you very much. And in the same way, if we are already raised with Christ, then we are in this tension between what we already are and what we will be. And if what we will be is the true creation carers and creation restorers, as Romans 8, then we ought to be getting into practice right now. And we ought to be putting up signs of that coming refructifying of creation right now in the present.